so many students here today. I didn't expect this turnout. Some even coming on their own without being forced. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And before we start with our topic, as always, I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience who will later watch you on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, so they know who's going to talk here. So let's start with ladies first, I would say. Please introduce yourself briefly. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Singi Palvin, and I'm from Bhutan, and I'm studying communication arts.
In which year?
I'm in second year.
Second year. All right.
Hi, my name is Lee. I'm international student. I study IB, and this is the last year for me.
Are you sure about that?
I believe so.
Okay, I hope so.
Hi, I'm John. I'm from Congo. I'm doing ICT. I'm second year.
All right. Thank you.
My name is Dupont Andy. I take my major is communication for arts, and I'm first year student. And I should take this opportunity to thank Ajahn and all of my friends, because it's very rare opportunity that we are getting. So it was very surprising at the same time that I came to know about the forum for today. So rather, I'm very happy to participate here.
I'm glad to say that. And if you like the opportunity, I will give it to you more often. Don't worry about that.
Okay, my name is Tam. I'm from Vietnam, and I'm a student of ICT student. Second years, actually.
All right. Thank you. And
Yes, my name is Toshak Tanaka. I come from Japan, and my major is ICT. I'm first year.
thank you very much. It's awesome. It's so international today. I like it very much. It's cool. Yeah, I like it. My name is Sasha. I'm from Thailand. No, not from Thailand. Yeah, I'm not from Thailand. Okay, let's just jump right into it, because we try to keep the hangouts a little bit shorter than we had it in the past. Yes, and so the topic of today is fear. Fear, yes. Why topic fear is because actually we really had some questions on Twitter. I'm sure somebody uses Twitter, but we had questions on Twitter asking us if like the exams at university are up to par, and I'm very scared of not passing and maybe then cannot study and stuff like that. So I thought, hey, let's talk about fear. But before we start talking about fear in university, what about fear in general? Like, do you know fear? Are you scared often? What are you scared of? Things like that. Like to start with ladies again, or do we do it? Yeah, the guys are nodding. Let's start with the ladies. What's your take on fear? Are you scared often? Do you know fear?
Yes, I scare often. Like for me, like since like ladies have more fear than the gents, and as a lady, I have a lot of fears because I fear anything happens to me. It's a fear for me. But simple things like even the talk today, it's a fear for me that how I am going to present the talk in front of my friends or something like that. So every single simple things is a fear for me. Being in a university student, for me the biggest fear is the exam. So I fear about the exam every time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we will talk about this later, of course, in more detail, because that's one of the biggest fears of most people here. But let's just keep it a little general. You fear like your friend here?
Well, I have so many kinds of fear though, and yeah, I quite agree. Like for female, we have more fear than male, maybe. Fear of cockroach, or maybe fear of scary movie, or yeah, so even fear for the darkness, like even it's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe like we have those kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you fear of darkness. We are scared of you, so it's like.
Well, I believe not that much fear of me, but they just don't know how to get into some particular point.
Okay. Yeah, let's again just keep it general first and then go into detailed points later. What about being scared and fear happens to you?
For me, I'm not really afraid about anything, but
That's the guy answer. Yes, that's what I want to hear.
yeah, I'm not afraid, but When I do my presentation, I'm afraid a bit because I don't know how to do. Maybe I think too much because I don't know how I can handle it. When I look at my teacher, maybe it's gonna be wrong. I don't know if it's right or not.
No, okay. Yeah, this like university part of theory, we'll talk about this in more detail, of course, but it's interesting, especially for presentation, because I see students like. So we will talk about that's you, right? We will talk about that. What about the general idea of fear and scared?
I don't know how to take my points because it seems that it's a very vast subject, and the definition of the fear, I think it depends upon person to person, and at the same time we have to also know that the causes of fear, the types of fear, and the symptoms that when we have different types of fear, how do we feel, how do we react to it. I think all this has to be encompassed within this forum if it can be. We don't know how much time is left, but I think it should be more than an hour. So then only we can thoroughly discuss about it. And I was rather happy to have some views from some of our colleagues from Bhutan and our two friends. And they were mentioning about regarding the examination fear. Maybe we can also touch upon it. But at the same time, from my point of view, I think there are a lot of fears. So just to generalize it, as I said, it depends upon person to person how we define. But from my perception and from my point of view, I think it's a vast subject, and we can define from my philosophical point of view like 84,000 fears, and then it bring down to 360 fears, and fears of 5 elements like flood, water, air, and if I can go, I can go it, but then so likewise then we come narrow it down to, for example, like university examination. So how do we tackle the questions? How do we tackle in the class in terms of specific subject matter? So I think it should be discussed thoroughly so that it felt that some of our colleagues and friends, they are having some fears, especially during the examination time.
Right.
So from my point of view, I think there is no fear as such, but the fear is only built upon from person to person's his or her own perception. In terms of sort of like solving the problems, for personal problem like attending the class, or in terms of attending the examination, until unless he or she prepare very well confident, but not overconfident, I think the fear is not there. So fear, it depends upon the person's on the definition. So I'll have to stop here. Maybe if given chance then next we will just continue and interact with each other.
No, I like the idea of course, and of course fear is something that's from person to person different. That's why I asked every one of you, and I'm so happy to have different people who are sitting. So what's your task on fear?
I think fear of my personal fear about cockroach.
Oh. How come? You're much taller.
Yeah, because in my past time, right, in my childhood time, I have like experienced one cockroach go inside my pants and do some stuff in there.
That's what I like. You're sharing personal stories. Yeah, I completely understand this.
Yeah,
I like that.
And that's the only thing that I'm afraid to.
It's only the cockroach. And now the girls are laughing. Why are they laughing at the cockroach? Okay, so you understand him as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just like disgusting. Okay. What about your take on fear?
Yes, I have many something fearing, but the most fearing is high price.
Okay.
Yes, and high price is fear. My breath is down to the muscle, so I feel fear. Yes, that's it.
Okay, I understand. All right. Sometimes I'm scared of students. I'm not looking at somebody special. No, of course not. Okay, so now we talk about like some general ideas of fear and that we have different fears from person to person, of course. So now, since we are all here at university, the fear kind of that we talk about the most is of cause fear in university. So now, like you said, we have to tackle different kinds. So what kind of fear do we have here? What kind of fear do you experience in university? Do you see cockroaches at uni, for example?
Oh, every day.
I hope not.
Yeah,
We have so many.
there are a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah, even like sometimes cockroaches, sometimes a big rat.
Where are you hiding out here in university? You see cockroaches and rats. No, but now seriously, like different kinds of fear in university. What's there? We want to do the round again, or we just want to
Teacher.
jump in? Fear of teacher.
Yeah.
You're scared of teachers? Why?
Not every teacher, but some teacher are ridiculous. Sorry to say that, but some of them are.
Scary.
Yeah, they are scary. They are not that I mean, not scared of to seeing them or to facing them, but scared like how they gonna treat us.
Okay, yeah.
Some of them are just can't even talk, can't even deal with, can't even start to say what the problem was. But they just analyze and they just have some kind of like something in their mind, like okay, this type of person have to be like bad, or this kind of looking of people have to be like good. But it's not really like that. I mean, in general. But most of the, I mean, not more of them, sorry, but a lot of them judge people by looking or by the way they come from or by the general idea, sort of that. That's
So
sort of.
this is actually the fear of like prejudices, stereotypes that the teacher.
Stereotype.
The
Yes.
teacher has stereotypes. Okay. Somebody else feel similar? That like lecturers might have stereotypes and judge you upon that, and like.
I believe from Asian not problem. Like from people like not Bhutanese, not Cambodia, maybe not even.
Oh no, it's gonna.
Excuse me.
The fight's gonna break loose.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Vietnam. Okay, mixed both. I mean, Asian and Asian totally fine, but maybe some totally foreigners.
Okay, so but this is actually something that you say it's not, you're not comfortable with it, and it makes you kind of scared in the terms of that they will treat you differently.
Of course.
You agree on that point, or you understand it, or you want to jump in?
If I can just add to it or supplement,
Yeah.
or rather my own view also. I think it is possible that sometimes certain circumstances may be based, but from my point of view, I think we should take it very positively, because here it's a very international college whereby the different students coming from different countries with different backgrounds, different culture, different value system, different understanding. So that's why I think we have to prepare for it. This is my personal view. If in case such things are happening, I think we should take it very positively, because through this we learn more, we know each other more about it. It is like a spicy in the curry, because when we it's rather so. But it will depend upon how we take it, and it can also be that if I may add something about it, and there is a saying that if somebody, for example, in connection to this, if someone just point you some mistake, that you have committed some mistake or due to culture or some other matter, if they point out something, and if you have mistake, then it doesn't matter that, because it says that since you have a mistake, you should not be upset because you have a mistake and you have some differences. And then other way around, in vice versa, if you do not have any mistake or somebody points some mistake even during class among friends or by the teachers,
Actually,
it doesn't matter because you do not have mistake. So either way, you are very free. You are very free. So I'm just not against it, but then this is my personal view. So we have to know how to take it positively in either way around. So it is like an antidote, and that is where we learn more. Because my perception or my opinion is that sometimes I would like to take it the other obstacle, because we learn through mistake and through challenges and circumstances. So we have to face it, we have to challenge, take it as a challenge and learn it, take it as a treasure.
That's actually, yeah.
This is my personal view. I take it.
Take it as a challenge. That's exactly what I think, but you look like you want to say something.
Yes, please.
Well, I think it's okay. And take it as a challenge is really something.
Do you others do like some similar thing, like having kind of a fear in the scale of teachers?
I'm not really.
You're not scared of a teacher?
No, I don't mean to say that, but for me, like for my personal opinion, I feel like fear, if we fear always to anything, like every time if we have a fear in my mind, after some time it will lead to the fear will lead to the failure. If we have a fear in our mind every time, then this fear will lead to the failure, because if we, as my friend said, if we don't take it positively, then if anything, like if something happen, if we have in our mind that if something happened to me, something that every time if we fear about that, and if we don't take it positively, that fear will take to the failure. Because simple example is that doing a presentation in the class, if I have to do a presentation in the class tomorrow, and if I have a fear, if I started to have a fear from today itself, and so that I cannot prepare well, and that will lead to the failure tomorrow in the class.
Right.
So,
I agree on that. Let's just one moment stick with the fear of teachers or lecturers or something. Let's just ask if you want to add something before we jump to presentations and exams. But you have like some similar experience, like you say, this teacher, lecturer, I'm too scared to, I don't know, maybe to judge me wrong, or...
Actually, for me,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid about teacher. But for my experience, right, in the first year I came here, I mean, it's like almost the student from Asia study abroad to another country is afraid about English.
Yeah,
Right, Toshi also be afraid about English. In the first year, everybody like the same, because we afraid that another person that we have a conversation to them is they understand or not.
Yeah.
And we try to like figure out what's our mistake or something like that. So it makes people afraid. But I think afraid is good for experience of the personality, because when we take that mistake or something like that, and we can like face to that fear, right? And we can learn something from that after we prove that thing.
That's of course the nice conclusion that we can add to every topic that we talk about now, like face the fear, learn something from it. Yes, very brave. However, if you're not sure if you want to add something, or if you just ask the question like, how do you face those fears? Like sticking with the lecturer, with the teacher, if you're scared that the teacher will judge you in the wrong way, or if you think the teacher might not understand why you don't understand something or might not understand your question. How do you face this fear? With a lecturer, with a teacher, with the person standing in front of you, say, I'm not sure, I can ask him, what do you do? Or do you don't have a problem at all to talk to the lecturer and say, hey, it's no problem for you to talk with everyone? Or are you scared sometimes?
Well, actually, it's not really a problem anymore.
Anymore?
Yeah, at first it's like a big problem
Yeah?
during that time. Like I don't really want to get close to those teachers or.
Yes, I understand, but you still need to do
And
it,
I
right?
see, absolutely. And I saw so many friends. They walk away from the teacher because they don't want to even get close.
Yes, I
And
understand.
because they think that those teachers will never understand them.
Right, so what do you do then? Like, how can you face this fear? Yeah, how do you do it?
Just get step by step. Like at first, maybe talk about the class. Maybe later on get used to it from time to time. Keep asking for what you need. That's what I did.
Okay. Not backing up, not running away.
No, running away cannot help at all.
Of course, it never helps, right? But somebody else had this problem where you were like a little bit scared of a teacher, or you say, hey, here, no problem at all, everybody's nice and everybody's friendly. Be honest. Oh, okay, so for you it's no problem.
Yes, because I didn't have an experience for that.
Okay, so you can talk with everyone and you're not scared of talking.
Yeah.
You're tall anyway, you're not scared of anything.
No. The first time I tried to cooperate with the teacher,
Right.
because I need something from him.
Yeah.
So I go step by step and try to approach him.
Okay.
And if I did the first time, I mean, if the first time it's okay, I can handle it. So I can keep trying and talk to
Right.
him. And while doing that, it's when I did that.
Okay, yeah. Right. You want to add something? Or you say that's right?
That's right.
That's right.
Can I hit please? Actually, I didn't experience any fear during the teaching in the classroom, but I would like to add something about it. I think firstly we have to define what is exactly mean by fear. And from my definition that I think fear can be something which we are not confident about something, either teaching or somebody else. So how do we make confident ourselves? Suppose, for example, in a class, when we have a fear during the teaching through the lecturers, maybe I think just to clear our, make our more confidence, clear our doubts, because due to that doubt, that we are having fear. For example, if a lecturer asks us a question, and if you are not able to understand or reply it, that is also fear. So keeping this in example, I think to make ourselves more confident, sometimes I used to talk to my friends, sometimes saying that, okay, we have to keep three things in mind, especially while attending the class. The first thing is that listen very carefully, attentively. And the second thing is that we should not feel proud of, if you, as long as you have, I know, then you will not learn. And the third thing is that no fear, no shame, no fear. If you fear, that will also not let you learn. So we have to always omit or try to avoid fear, shame, pride.
Right.
So that's why I keep these three things in mind. Listen carefully, attentively, and then it will greatly help that particular person to learn more, and whatever he or she asks, we will be in a position to communicate very effectively.
Right.
So
That's actually
no fear.
a perfect way of what I try to come by now is like, I mean, you attended my class, for example, so I have experience in class. The teacher asks something, and then the students remain completely silent. And the teacher asks again, and the students still completely silent. Yeah, and then the teacher, like, I do it, I walk through the classroom, and I walk towards students, and I ask the students directly, and the students, yeah, then you can see that they don't want to say something, because I think there is some kind of fear of saying something wrong. So if you're not sure what to say, like, I don't want to say something bad. So now you already said a little bit how to overcome, now I want to know from others. I simply assume you feel similar sometimes. What do you do then when this kind of fear strikes you? Like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to say. What do you do?
Just speak out.
Just speak out.
Yeah, what you think. That's the thing that faced with the fear. You know?
Yeah, but how did you come to that point? You're always like outgoing, no problem, or like you mentioned before, some people might have this pride, this, I don't want to say something bad or something wrong because my friends.
Well, I believe it's nothing wrong for that point. I mean, just a question.
Yeah.
It just, if you point out something, it means you don't understand that point. Sometimes, for me myself, I did ask maybe, I don't understand the whole thing. Because I don't get the whole picture.
Right.
I did ask that once. Can you just say the whole thing again? I don't get it at all. I did. And he just like, okay.
Yeah. And what happened in class? Like your friends, did they say something?
Well, I believe like most of them, like sometimes that they don't even listening, they might don't have the idea what to ask. It's nothing wrong about Ajahn only or
No, yeah, that's.
yeah.
I just try to figure out why students sometimes are afraid to say something or to say something
Because
wrong.
they don't know what to say.
Yes, but why?
Because they didn't listen.
Did you have similar experiences? Or what did you do when Ajahn, ICT, Ajahn Tuli-san asked you, hey, what's this? What do you do?
Yes, the first system, yes, question is suddenly, for me, is a very afraid. I don't know the answer, so I have to guess. So,
That's a good thing. Good thing.
Yes, guessing is better than remaining
I also did it when my first year also.
I
Yes.
guessed all the time in my class, so
No.
I remember that. So you guess and you just say something and
Yes,
it's
yes.
like,
yes.
all right.
It's good.
For me, sometimes when you ask me, I just try to come back to the lecture, try to,
Yes, you can type something if you want to say hi. Yeah, you can go on.
I just come back to the lecture, try to figure out what is the question, what is it for, I have to figure out which part it is asked for this question, so
Right.
I have to know, I have to think about that. But if I didn't find any answer, I just say, Ajahn, can I ask a letter? Or maybe just give me 1 minute.
Right?
Yeah. Sometimes.
All right, yeah, understand, sure. So, but being not afraid of asking this question, hey, can you explain it again? Did it take a long time for you to reach this point that you can actually talk with every Ajahn?
Yes.
Yes, and how's this process happening? Like,
Uh,
you wake up one day like, today I'm brave, and I ask a question,
Not just kill the chicken.
okay? You kill the chicken. I like this phrase,
Just
by the
kill
way.
the
Kill the
chicken.
chicken, yeah. Can you explain kill the chicken to everybody else? who
I
doesn't
mean,
know it?
from the first meet, you might I'm gonna be silent. The
Right.
second day, I have something have to come up today.
Yeah.
Even hi, just say hi at the first. It's okay. And the third time, maybe like okay, keep asking like, okay, Ajahn, what the first question again? Oh, whatever. You know.
Yes.
From time to time, you kill chicken little by little until it's dead.
So.
It's
What
right.
do you do at Ramsey University? We kill the chicken.
Yeah, that's what we learn right here.
I wonder in which class. Yes. Killing the chicken. So you have similar approaches, like getting to know the Ajahn step by step, and then figuring out what to ask. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, at the end, it's our job to help. So actually, you should never be afraid. Obviously, you should never be afraid to talk to Ajahn, because the teacher doesn't want to answer them, it's the wrong job he's doing. So yeah, keep asking. Of course, I'm glad all of you do it, so that's fine. And now I want to jump to the point that you mentioned already. And I think that the one point regarding fear that's always present in presentations and exams. And I mean, in my class, for example, we have everything, right? We have presentations and exams. So twice the choice to freak out. So now, how does the fear hit you? Like, what are the symptoms of the fear when it comes to presentations and exams? And later on, how you tackle it. But first, how does it hit you? The symptoms of the fear. Tomorrow presentation. How do you feel?
For me, like, I have fear about both the exams and presentation. But when it comes to like doing a presentation, I wish like I have an exam, because to do an exam I can do it myself whether it's right or wrong. But for the when
Nobody
it comes,
can see it.
yeah, nobody can see it, and only the agent can correct it and let it pass or fail. But when it comes to the presentation, I have to present in front of the class, and I have a fear that they can judge me how I speak, all the body language that I show in front of them, and
I like it so much.
how I am good in speaking or something like so. For me, like presentation is much fear than the exam.
And how do you feel like a day before the presentation? What do you do and how does the fear
So like as I mentioned earlier, for me like this fear is lead to the failure, because I fear too much in my mind and I worried, and when it's come to my real presentation, then I cannot present well, because
Right.
I started fearing from yesterday itself if my presentation is going to be today.
And during the presentation, you're also scared
But
when the presentation starts? And you
in the beginning, yes,
Yeah.
but after going on for sometimes, then I can.
Are you shaking or something?
Yes, I can.
Alright, you should take my presentation class. how does it feel for you? Like exams, presentations, or stage?
Exam is the more fear, I believe, but presentation not really.
Okay.
I like to talk.
Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah, right.
It's fine.
I just read before the presentation. At the first time, maybe it's a bit shaky, but
Yeah.
after that, it's okay.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, come to the point sometimes and go out the point sometimes. Make fun about the presentation sometimes.
Right.
It's make me really confident.
Alright, that's nice. That's getting confident from presentation.
Yeah, make fun about the audience sometimes. Good.
Yeah, that's what I do all the time in class.
Yeah.
That's how I survive.
Ah, now I know why you always laugh in the class.
Well, what do you take on presentation?
For me, exam is okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really scared about that, but the presentation is really a big deal for me. Because sometimes I say when I when I present my presentation, it's going to be maybe wrong because I scared about my English. It's not really better, so I just keep trying a little bit.
Yeah.
When I present my work, I think I can handle it. I can do it. Not really better, but so.
Okay.
But I shake them.
Alright. Today I want to...
I don't really like to hold the microphone and just leave it and talk without the microphone. It's better for me.
That's what I do in class as well, if it's possible. Yes, I don't like the microphone as well.
Thanks. I think there are two issues here. One is examination time, and then other one is the presentation time in the class. So just to pick up one among the two, in terms of presentation, I think again basically I think the same principle applies. The most important things, whether you do examination or facing the conference room or doing presentation, one of the most important things that we should keep in mind, from my point of view, is preparedness. So if you are thoroughly prepared in terms of doing research, suppose you are going to present on the particular topics, you have to have a thorough research on it, the backgrounds, why you are going to do, how you are going to present, background paper, everything you have to research thoroughly. And on top of that, the presentation in the class is different than the presenting people, because you have to talk to the people and you cannot read to them. You have to talk to them, interact with them, look at them. So you have to speak to the point, not away from the point. And sometimes you may also face like challenges from the among the participants, asking very sometimes nasty questions. You have to prepare for that. And at the same time, you should keep all these things. Besides keeping all these things in mind, the most important thing is that eye contact, the way you look at them, and how you approach, even the tone of your voice. Suppose here, just few people, if you are talking to like hundreds of people, you have to little bit louder, depending upon the situation and circumstances and the topic. So everything has to be kept in mind. So all these things are being considered and keep in mind. There is no much problem about it. And coming to the examination, it applies same. If we thoroughly prepare, but then it's different.
That's what the teacher says all the time.
You should read and prepare, but there you do not need to talk to them. So that is the only more advantage in the during examination time. So same.
Just join in.
I think it's right, but there is something that you have to know. You correct, it's your own language. Like you are strong speaking English, but there's other people they cannot really handle because they have a problem with the language. They're still learning. That's why sometimes it happens. And they can shake, they can really freak out about that because they don't know how to do. Maybe they never do it in another language. It's a big deal for them. Like me, for me in the beginning when I do my presentation, Ajahn Chakri's class, my environment, I didn't wait. because I didn't prepare for that. Even I didn't know what I speak, but
Hey, Chan, please don't watch this.
it was really good because I didn't prepare for that. Yeah, I really prepared for that. But my English was really sucks because I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I just memorized and I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But when you prepare and you know what you talk about, you cannot fear. You cannot feel that scare inside of you.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
I agree with him because when you prepare for like presentation or examination, right? Like prepare very good for that, so you don't have any fear more. But if after you prepare already and you still fear, right? Like what people gotta ask you, what people gotta ask you when I present, what they have a question or something like that. And from that fear, you can like create the question for yourself, more like prepare more about that presentation. So this like help you out.
Yeah, I agree. Now the teacher asks why don't students prepare all the time, so you will never be scared. I remember our class, for example, one day before the final exam, many students sent many emails and frustrated calls or even came to the office and like, Achan, I'm so scared about OOP. Just prepare, see? Face your fear. How do you handle presentations and examinations?
Yes, I think presentation is so different from just talking in English.
Right.
Yes, presentation need to understand more than
How to present
people.
Yes.
Present,
Right.
yes. To understand and to plan exactly and explain at the same.
Yeah, you're right. Yes.
So for me, actually, I can speak English well, so I have to, for presentation, I have to prepare the draft and meeting draft. So,
Okay.
yes, so presentation is
The big fear.
yes.
Alright. Okay, so the presentation part. Yeah, I have to agree that if you are prepared for everything, it's so much easier to present. Like when I go to a class, I try to be well prepared and I try to know or at least guess the questions you're going to ask me. So if you ask a question like, yes, I'm prepared, I can answer that, then you feel confident automatically and you don't need to fear anything. If you only know what to say and not much more, like you said, then you're hoping, I hope nobody else can ask a question, I hope nobody's going to ask me. Then somebody asks a question, you're like, so I totally agree, you should be prepared more, you should know more than what to present, of course. The time is running because there's so many and it's very, very cool to talk about this, but like, of course, like one of the final questions, how do you tackle your fear? You should face your fear, okay, but how? You're scared of presentations, what do you do before the presentation? What do you do to make yourself feel better? What do you do before the examination? Don't say prepare, yeah, everybody prepares, but what do you do to make yourself feel better? It's not only study, study, study. What do you do to feel confident?
Practice.
Practice.
You can practice by yourself in front of the mirror or something like that.
Okay.
Like for me, before I present for everybody before the presentation day, right?
Yeah.
I open my computer and like put it in there and like this page and hello everybody and try to practice by yourself before you present in front of many people like that.
Yeah.
So like and do it until like you remember everything
Okay.
and like
So then your presentation is actually like a recording. You just press play. No, you're recording in your mind. You press play and you say what you practice. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, interesting. All your approaches.
For me, I face the fear by asking the question in class and keep doing every day. When I have class with Ajahn, the one who has so many presentations,
Yeah.
I keep asking the question in class and try to answer so many questions, try to speak in front of people. I practice like that. So try to handle it,
Okay.
to face the fear.
Yeah. So yeah, fine. More approaches. Yeah.
Yes, of course, there is fear, but then it also depends upon how we tackle it.
Right.
So the method of tackling it, it's very important in the last, because if you have small fear, that one fear will lead to change of reaction. And suppose, for example, you do not know the first question very clearly, and you know the second question very clearly, and third question also you know very clearly. And by looking at the first question, and if you are fear, then even you will forget, you cannot recollect very clearly about the second and third questions. So that's why it's important that if we do not know how to make ourselves cool down, and then
How do you do that? Give a real example for yourself.
even by talking myself, even by thinking myself like this,
Yeah.
it let me
Okay.
unknowingly let me fear, have less and less fear.
Okay.
So cooling down is very important, and we should know how to tackle the tense situation. So that fear is a tense situation.
Right.
So if we really fear about it, then even we may not be able to do the other portion which we knew before.
Exactly.
So that's why
it's important
it depends.
to tackle
Yes.
this fear.
Yes. So that's why if we need to unmove marks, I think we should know how to tackle ourselves. And that fear can only be avoided by making ourselves more confident in ourselves. Okay,
Exactly.
now
That's
it's okay.
the
I will, whether it's I know or not, I'll have to tackle it.
How do you reach this confidence? You personally. And the personal answers, how do you do it?
Because this is intangible,
Right.
so it's not the asset or the materials. I cannot show, this is my confidence.
Yes.
Even by talking myself like this, thinking myself like this,
Then you
I
feel
can
better.
build, confidence myself.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, and that is the only one. It can be expressed, but I cannot show it like this.
Yeah, of
This
course.
is mine.
Yeah, you cannot. Yeah, you cannot do it here.
Yes.
Yes, of course not. Yes, but as long as it works, I'm happy with that.
Before the presentation day, what I did, I called my friend. Okay, can you come in my class? And I set in the class like a classroom, and I did presentation right there. If you have any question, you must ask me. So
This works with a friend.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
I just try to be more comfortable in the front. Try to show like, okay, I'm confident enough and I have all the details right here.
Yeah.
I'm not reading on the screen, and I just try to give them all what I have in my head. And if they hit me by the questions, I know immediately like, okay, what is can be, or
Yeah.
what is the answer can be.
Okay.
And before the
Exam?
exams,
Yeah.
I will keep writing, preparing myself by writing and writing 1,000 until
Okay.
it's like a recording.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Just technical. It did
Yeah,
sound similar sometimes.
it's similar
Yeah,
as a
that's lazy.
recording, but this is writing.
Yeah.
When I write a lot, my hand is like
And
fluent.
you have to see it, then you
Yeah,
remember. Okay. Got it, yes.
For me, like when it comes to presentation, I
Yeah.
prepare myself in the room, and I just prepare myself alone. I never talk to my friends, or I never.
Leave me alone, it's all
Yes,
mine.
I just prepare myself, and what I do is like, actually, when they give a assignment in a group, earlier I prefer to do the presentation by my friends if agents agree. But later I realized that when my friends do and I just go there and watch, I don't learn anything.
Oh, okay.
Instead of presenting myself, when my friends presenting and I sitting down and watching, I don't learn anything and I'm not getting anything. So later I came to know that, and I also participated. And when we participate, because of the fear I have in my mind, I make a lot of mistake while I'm presenting. So like when I make a mistake, I never think that I made a mistake and I am ashamed about that or something like that. But I take it positively that if I make like 5 mistakes this time when I present, then I'm thinking that I will reduce to 2 or 3 next time.
Yeah, that's the right attitude.
I take a chance that I
Of
will
course.
improve myself.
Very good, yes. That's the last question I will ask, but first, your take on how do you prepare?
So I think before the presentation, we have to image my presentation. Important thing is the image. So the image is a very good way about everything. Yes, I think.
All right. So I think that this works for you, like this very good image, and it works. Okay. I could find it too. Okay, now the final question, last question is, and short answer. If you freak out during an exam or during a presentation, you feel like it's not going well, you feel something's going wrong. Yeah, in an exam, you're like, oh no, oh, or in the presentation when you see the Ajahn, so you're like, yeah. What do you do when you feel something, you feel uncomfortable? Do you have a trick to feel good again? Or is there something that you can do immediately to make yourself feel better? Or do you completely freak out and all the exam is F? What do you do? Like, briefly.
For me, like when it comes to the presentation,
Yeah.
if I find my Ajahn is not really happy, we will know looking at his facial expression. So like if Ajahn is not really happy with my presentation, then I lost my point. So I lost the connection of my presentation.
What do you do?
Then I try to like jump to the next point really
Yes,
within.
right. Okay,
Because, for example, if I'm talking about particularly about the fear, and if my fear is not really pursuing my Ajahn, then I jump to the next topic and
Okay.
try to cut off the point that I'm not going able to do it.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
For me, I would go deeply. Like, for example, if I see Ajahn not interested or seems like to be bored, yeah, I will walk to the audience and give the example straight away.
Okay.
Like, for example, like if you fear, I might like, this is give you the fear.
Okay.
Give more attention about to the audience,
Right.
and in the same time, I will give more example.
Okay. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, well, I agree with her, but for me, I just skip. When I skip,
Keep going. Okay.
yeah, I skip and try to do the next step
Okay.
and try to be more confident, try to be more focused.
We are offering a presentation course here. You both should take it.
It's like a challenge when teacher look at me and like boring.
Right.
I don't get it what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
I try to say, oh, I should do the best. I should do my best.
Of course.
Otherwise, I will get F.
Right.
I have to do it. So
Right.
maybe I can skip and understand it that he didn't really catch me. He didn't really do it well, but
Yeah.
he skipped and he did well. So it's gonna be alright.
Okay. Okay. What do you think?
We all have different ways of tackling this method, and I accept and I am happy to learn
Right.
new thing from you. But at the same time, if I feel like I'm going something wrong during my presentation, by looking at the Ajah's face or gesture, then maybe I ask him or her advice and suggestion.
Yeah.
Am I going okay, Ajahn? Can you please advise me?
Okay.
So I tell them, and then we can proceed.
That's actually a very, very good idea. Not that you don't need to ask for advice, but you can just interact with them and say, hey, why are you looking this way? Is something unclear? Can I explain it again? Yeah, interact with them. Don't be scared. Right.
Agree with him.
Of course you do. Thank you. Yes. Don't say you agree with them. If you present and you feel, oh no, problem, what do you do?
Almost saying that you don't get it.
So you skip and
Yeah, skip or stop and thinking how to say.
Because I think the point is as the student, we still have responsibility to learn, to study,
of
right?
course. So nobody's perfect. So
Yeah, so everybody got a mistake and we can learn from that mistake.
obviously, it's no problem to make mistakes. That's why I say
Yeah,
to you
that's
all the time. Yes, just do something. No problem to make mistakes. I totally agree. Now the time's running out. There are so many questions I now came up with. We have to do a fear part number 2 hangout sometime soon because there are so many questions I would like to tackle more into detail. But for now it's enough. I would like to have one last famous verse. Everybody, what do you want to say? You have 30 seconds to say something to the audience.
I'm not afraid.
Famous. Okay, the last one. Famous last words.
Fight for the fear.
Fight the fear, yes.
Feel the shaking.
Yeah, face the fear.
All right.
Fear take it positively and as a challenge.
Right, take it as a challenge.
I'm not afraid.
We can change that. Any last words?
Prayer for success.
Yes, that's actually perfect. With these words, I'd like to close and thank everyone for joining. Thank you very much. I hope to see you again. Thank you very much. Thank you.